Aquarius, stop what you're doing. The last 2 days of June, June 29th and 30th, are not ordinary days. They're spiritually loaded, emotionally intense, and astrologically explosive. And if you ignore the warnings, it could cost you more than just your peace. It could cost you your next life chapter. In this video, we're diving into 4 urgent reasons why you must isolate during these final days. Because isolation isn't about hiding, it's about aligning. If you're watching this, your soul is being called to prepare for something massive. Let's begin. Issue number 1. The cosmic echo. Your energy is being read by the universe. Aquarius, June 29th, is not just another date on the calendar. It's a spiritual mirror. A cosmic echo that takes your thoughts, emotions, and energy and bounces them straight into the timeline ahead. Think of it like this. The universe is standing over your shoulder with a notepad, taking notes. Whatever frequency you embody on this day becomes the dominant energy that will shape your next 6 months. Let that sink in. That means the mood you're in, the people you're around, the conversations you engage in, and the intentions you hold. They're all being recorded in real time and uploaded to your soul's trajectory. And here's the danger. If you're surrounded by negativity, whether that's family drama, online chaos, emotional overwhelm, or just mindless noise, you're sinking to that vibration. And the universe, it multiplies whatever you're tuned into. So, if you're in a low vibration on June 29th, stressed, distracted, reactive, the universe will assume that's what you want more of, and it will deliver. This is why isolation becomes sacred. It's not about being antisocial. It's about protecting your frequency like your future depends on it, because it does. Aquarius, you're ruled by Uranus, the planet of sudden shifts and genius insight. That means your frequency isn't casual, it's powerful, it's electric, and right now, it's sensitive. You might notice on June 29th, you feel drained after talking to someone. You get irritated by things that usually don't bother you. You feel spaced out, disconnected, or highly emotional, or you suddenly want to cancel plans and stay home. These aren't random moods. These are signals. The universe is trying to quiet the outside noise so it can speak to your inner voice. But you have to give it space. During the echo window, even small things can become huge ripple effects. One angry message, one toxic conversation, one impulsive decision. That's all it takes to throw off the transmission. So what can you do? Isolate intentionally. Turn off notifications. Light a candle. Take a salt bath. Meditate. Write down what you're feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. Visualize the version of you want to become, and sit with that image. This isn't a day to grind or push harder. This is a day to align, because your energy is your message to the universe. And on June 29th, that message becomes your blueprint. Are you broadcasting stress or soul? Are you repeating old thoughts or opening up to new possibilities? Are you being reactive or being intentional? So ask yourself, what is more important than receiving your next soul instruction? Because the truth is, no success, no relationship, no social update is more valuable than clarity from your higher self. June 29th is a spiritual checkpoint. It's not meant for proving yourself. It's meant for listening, observing, and sinking to your truest path. Aquarius, don't lose the plot now. This is your window. Isolate to receive, because the universe is watching, and what you choose today becomes the frequency of your future. Issue number 2. June 30th, Saturn Retrograde. The karmic mirror flips Aquarius. June 30th is not just another retrograde. It's a cosmic X-ray of your soul. Saturn, the planet of karma, responsibility, and long-term legacy, turns retrograde in Pisces, your second house of values, inner peace, and spiritual alignment. But what makes this day so pivotal for you is what Saturn is actually trying to do. It's flipping the karmic mirror. This is not about punishing you. It's about awakening you. During this rare alignment, Saturn doesn't bring external chaos like Mercury retrograde might. Instead, it quietly lays your entire energetic blueprint out in front of you and asks, is this who you really want to become? It's like a divine audit, one that forces you to look in the mirror, without filters, without excuses, and without distractions. You may suddenly feel an unexplained sadness or heaviness, a longing to return to something you abandoned, shame or regret around a past decision, a rush of inspiration to pivot fast, even if it terrifies you. These aren't coincidences. They're karmic signals being highlighted by Saturn's flashlight. But here's the catch. You will miss these messages entirely if your world is too loud. This is why isolation is non-negotiable on June 30th. Even well-meaning conversations can pull you off track. Scrolling social media might numb the message. Busy environments may drown out your internal voice. And Saturn won't shout. It speaks in silence. It teaches through subtle nudges and raw truth. Aquarius, you're known for your logic, your intellect, your innovation. You solve things with your mind. But Saturn in Pisces, it doesn't care about logic. It wants your heart to speak. And that means asking yourself difficult questions. Am I on the right path, or just the safe one? Do my daily actions reflect my soul's mission? Have I been avoiding the very change I claim to desire? This is not the time to seek validation. It's the time to strip away layers and face your core truth. And that truth might hurt at first, but it also sets you free. If you lean into the stillness, journal, meditate, pray, walk in solitude, you'll begin to see what Saturn is showing you. That a new chapter is available, but only if you release the karmic clutter. You may be called to end a toxic cycle. Once and for all, make a financial or career pivot. Set a boundary with someone you love. Walk away from something familiar, but misaligned. It'll feel scary, maybe even lonely, but it's also the portal to your real power. Remember, Saturn doesn't remove what you want. It removes what stands in the way of what you're destined for. If you isolate, even for just a few hours on June 30th, you will notice mental clarity, emotional revelations, gut-level realizations, a strange, peaceful certainty about your next move. But if you ignore the call, you might stay in the same karmic loop until the end of Saturn's retrograde, months later. Aquarius, don't let your future self down. This is your chance to course correct before July arrives, before the world gets louder again, before old timelines pull you back. Saturn doesn't sugarcoat, but it always promotes those who pass the test, and June 30th is your test. So remember, isolation is not punishment. It's the portal. Sit with your truth. Watch it rise. Let the old you fall away. Aquarius, take this seriously. Because once the karmic mirror flips, what you see will change everything. Issue number 3. Psychic overload. Protecting your mind from energy. Vampires, Aquarius, here's what nobody is telling you, but what you absolutely need to hear. You are currently absorbing everyone's energy, the good, the bad, and the chaotic. And no, it's not your imagination. With Uranus, your ruling planet, sitting in a volatile astrological position, and the moon intensifying as we approach June 29th to 30th. Your psychic boundaries are practically invisible. You're like an emotional sponge right now, soaking in energies that don't even belong to you. And here's how you might know it's happening. You feel exhausted after a short conversation. You suddenly get anxious or down without knowing why. You're dreaming of people you've cut off years ago. You're getting flashes of inspiration, then overwhelmed by confusion. You feel like your mind won't shut off, as if someone left the door open to the world. What's going on here isn't just stress, it's psychic overload, and it's peaking on June 29th and 30th. And during this sensitive window, something else happens. The energy vampires come out. Not the evil kind, but the subtle kind. The well-meaning friend who dumps their stress on you. The co-worker who keeps picking your brain. The family member who calls with drama you didn't ask for. They don't always realize it, but they're draining your energy. And if you don't protect your psychic space, your intuition will get drowned out by their noise. Aquarius, this is your wake-up call. You're not meant to carry everyone's chaos. You're meant to channel divine clarity. But to do that, you need stillness, not stimulation. Think of June 29th to 30th as your spiritual Wi-Fi router. It's updating. And just like a router reset, you can't use it while it's downloading a new signal. If you stay plugged into noise, texting, posting, helping, debating, scrolling, your spiritual system glitches. You might receive partial downloads, half insights, or worse, energy that scrambles your sense of self. But if you isolate, even for a few sacred hours, the noise dies down, and your true frequency takes over. This isn't about cutting everyone off forever. This is about energetic hygiene. You wouldn't leave your doors open during a storm, right? So why leave your aura wide open during a psychic storm? Turn your phone off for a while. Say no to plans without guilt. Avoid social media and news. Both are energetic battlegrounds. Ground yourself. Feet on earth. Salt bath. Journaling. Deep breathing. Visualize a light around your body. You're energetic. You may feel resistance. You may feel guilty. You may worry someone will get mad if you go silent for a day. But Aquarius, this is not about them. This is your soul asking you to rest and reset. Because if you don't, you'll notice doubt replacing your confidence. A foggy mind where clarity should be emotional exhaustion when you need to be making big decisions. And worst of all, you'll be reacting to other people's energy instead of receiving your own divine purpose. And Aquarius, you're not here to be reactive. You're here to lead with vision. Those visions are coming in strong on June 29th to 30th. They're trying to download, but they require space. You're not selfish for isolating. You're wise for protecting what matters most, your energy. So treat your mind as sacred. Treat your spirit like a temple. Turn inward. Guard your aura. And let the downloads arrive. Because when July begins, the leaders will be the ones who stayed silent and listened. Issue number 4. Destiny Upload. Your future self is trying to contact you. Let's get metaphysical, Aquarius. Between June 29th and June 30th, you are standing inside something extremely rare, a timeline overlap. It's not science fiction, it's spiritual fact, and if you understand it, you can completely change your future. So, what is a timeline overlap? It's the moment when the frequency of your current reality intersects with the frequency of your higher self, the version of you who is already healed, abundant, successful, aligned, and at peace. That version is not a fantasy. It already exists in another layer of your timeline. And on these specific days, June 29th and 30th, your soul becomes the bridge. The you of the future is trying to send a signal back to the you of today. This is what we call a destiny upload. You may suddenly just know something. A wild idea enters your mind, one that makes your heart race. You get a strong urge to cut ties with someone or something that's draining you. A wave of clarity hits you to move cities, launch the business, say no, say yes, speak your truth. You feel that you're meant for something bigger, and the how doesn't matter anymore. That's not random. That's your future self breaking through the static. But here's the catch. That download doesn't come through loudspeakers. It doesn't come with a billboard or flashing sign. It doesn't come from someone else's advice. It comes in whispers, through dreams, through moments of sudden peace, through gut instincts so subtle you could easily miss them. And if your world is loud, if you're glued to social media, people-pleasing, or numbing out with distractions, that destiny upload gets blocked. It's like trying to download a life-changing file over bad Wi-Fi. The signal gets lost. That's why isolation is your superpower during these 2 days. Aquarius, your intuition is high-tech. You are ruled by Uranus, the planet of sudden insight and breakthrough. And that means when the portal opens, you receive massive information in the blink of an eye. But your ego will want to override it. It will say, "This is silly. Who am I to do that? I need more proof. What if I'm wrong?" That's why silence is so essential. In isolation, you don't just hear the whisper, you begin to trust it. You feel pulled towards something higher, not out of fear, but out of alignment. So ask yourself, what would happen if you gave yourself 48 hours of silence? No external input, no asking for advice, no waiting for validation, just you and your future self, having a conversation in the dark. Here's what's possible when you isolate during June 29th to 30th. You'll feel pulled toward the next right action. You'll stop waiting and start deciding. You'll remember that you are the oracle. You'll realize your biggest dreams are not fantasies. They're blueprints, Aquarius. You're not here to follow trends. You're here to break them. You're here to build new systems, shift collective energy, and awaken the masses. But how can you do that if you can't hear your own signal? The download is ready. The portal is open. The timeline shift is live. But the password is silence. So will you log in? Will you pause the noise to activate the vision? Will you risk a little discomfort to receive your next evolution? Because in those quiet moments, Aquarius, everything you've been asking for is waiting to arrive. Final message. Aquarius, lean in. You didn't stumble across this message by accident. You were called here, pulled in by something bigger than logic, because your soul recognized the signal. June 29th and 30th are not ordinary days. They're not about doing more, they're about becoming more. And for that to happen, you must step away from the noise. Not everyone is being called to isolate during this portal, but you are. Why? Because you're not average. You're a system breaker, a pattern shifter, an architect of the future. And right now, in these exact 48 hours, your blueprint is being updated. But this next level of your life, it won't come through hustle. It won't come through more content, more scrolling, more advice, or more noise. It will come through stillness, through sacred silence. So here's what you're being asked to do. Log off from distractions, Instagram, the group chat, even that endless YouTube spiral. Your destiny doesn't live in someone else's algorithm. Create a sacred space. Light a candle, close the door, cleanse your energy. Make your environment quiet enough to hear your soul. Journal what's coming up, the truth, the fears, the flashes of vision. Don't judge it. Just let it flow. Rest more than usual. This isn't laziness. It's spiritual integration. Your body is catching up to your future timeline. Trust your instincts, not the opinions of others. Your intuition is the GPS. If something feels off, it is. If something feels right, but scary, lean in. And here's the biggest piece. Avoid energy leaks at all costs. That includes people who trigger self-doubt, friends who dump their drama, family members who guilt-trip you into being who you used to be. Even if they mean well, their energy right now can scramble your frequency. Aquarius, June 29th to 30th, is your reset moment. When July begins, there will be two paths. One, those who isolated and received the message. They'll step into July with clarity, fire, and vision. Two, and those who stayed stuck in the loop, repeating patterns, doubting themselves, and wondering why nothing feels aligned. Which one will you be? Comment below right now. I choose to isolate. I'm ready for my destiny upload. Declare it, claim it, anchor it in your field. And if this message spoke to your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe so you never miss these powerful cosmic updates. Like this video if something inside you just clicked. Share it with another Aquarius who needs to hear this before the portal closes. Your silence is sacred. Your alignment is everything. Until next time, Aquarius. Stay quiet. Stay aligned. Stay legendary.